What's up, boys? My computer kind of crashed this morning, so I didn't. I was recording live, but it like crashed, so the record stopped, and then I just had to pull out my laptop real quick, and I didn't really. Um, but yeah, anyway, so I'm just gonna do a little trade recap real quick. Fortunately, lost today. I lost more than I wanted, but luckily I was able to catch another trade on or because these are on or I got this on ES, but then I took another one on NQ just because London low was really obvious. And I was able to find an entry real quick. It was like a pretty quick trade, but anyway, and so that kind of got back like half my loss that I because like now I'm around where I would usually lose today, so I'm really content with that. But anyway, it's not all about that anyway. But let's just get into what we were thinking. So we were low key today. We were bearish until proven wrong, honestly. Just with this big move down, it's hard to say like we want to keep going lower. Um, we have kind of this low resistance here, and like we have this high here too. But it's really far as well, from open, like over 1.5%. But yeah, what we were seeing was we have these hourly gaps here. I kind of count them as one though, when they're stacked like that. I just count them as one, but I saw that we were respecting that, and then I went to lower time frame, and um, we actually got okay. Well, first of all, my fault. We had a higher time frame bullish SMT. That's also what was making me want to go leaning a little more towards long, but I wasn't. I was bearish until proven wrong. You know what I mean? But I was like, this might prove me wrong. Um, And so we had that SMT. So I was keeping that into consideration. But also then all of a sudden we formed when we went into this hourly gap here, um, we formed a bearish SMT 5 minute and 15 minute. Well, I mean 5 minute bearish SMT. And so for me personally, like when I'm trading, um, what's it called? Oh, I didn't realize my camera was on. Whoops. It's fine. Um, but for whenever, like, what I've noticed when I've been trading and stuff, like, when we have, like, a liquidity sweep here, when we have a liquidity sweep or something like that, and we have an SMT, like, for me and for my strategy, bro, dude, like, this wins probably, like, I don't know the stats on it, but, like, I've just noticed it from backtesting and stuff. Like, bro, it's at least 80%. Like the amount I win when I have something like this SMT plus liquidity sweep plus my entry, you know, like like usually it's a dub, usually, you know what I mean? Um, and it would have been today once I get into that, but um, yeah. So anyway, and so I saw that we respected the hourly gap. Then we get a 5 minute SMT to downside, and then we saw a bearish close out of that as well. And I was like, okay, I'm I'm bearish then. You know what I mean? Like I'm bearish. Um, so then after that, that's when we were kind of looking for some sort of entry model because we had London low here on ES, and that's what I really wanted. I wanted to get London low. That's a big draw on liquidity for me. And yeah, so then we ended up. I don't know if we quite tapped equilibrium or not. I know I drew it out. Uh, what you call? Okay, no. So we didn't tap here. I want to say we did on one of them, I think. Okay, yeah. Yeah. Okay. So we basically tapped here on NQ and then we didn't on ES unfortunately, but that still gave me confidence and I was pretty confident and we were so close already to London low. So I was like, okay, we got to get an entry here. And so then I was on the 1 minute time frame and I was able to unfortunately we have these fat like 1 minute candles, bro. So like entry wasn't perfect or like it wasn't like it was as good as we could get it. But like ideally it should have been up here. Like I wish we would have had a gap here that we inverse and enter here. Um but that's okay. And so we entered somewhere around this area, I believe. I think it somewhere around here. And stop loss, that's where I went wrong today. Um, because originally I wanted to put it here, but um, I was potentially gonna target this low as well. Because on NAS we haven't hit London low yet, or I think that was Asia low. I'm tripping. Okay, Asia low was here, and Asia low was also. Oh, oh yeah, over here. I'm sorry. What? No, I'm tripping. I'm tripping. I don't know, but yeah. Okay, so I mean London low. I'm sorry. I don't know what confused me there. That's my fault. But yeah, London low was here on NAS. That's why I didn't take it there, but I took it here because it was so close. And so where I went wrong though was the the stop loss. So I originally wanted to put it here, but my target originally was literally just London low. So that, like, look at that RR. That's really bad. Um, and so then I was like, okay, I'll just move it here. You know what I mean? Like somewhere in this area makes it like a little better, like 1 to 1 basically, you know? Um, and so, but I want it down there as well, you know what I mean? But also anyway, so I put it in the middle of this gap without even realizing. I didn't take it into consideration that we could want to fill this and still push lower, you know what I mean? So I either should have put it here, but RR would have been terrible. So I should have put it above this 1 minute gap. Like I still potentially could have been stopped out if I put it here, you know? But I think I would have respected it and put it there or like right at the bottom of this body. You know what I mean? And like, cause that's what I usually do. I don't usually put it in the middle of the gap. You know what I mean? Like I'll put it at least right, like either here or I'll put it here or there. You know what I mean? And that's what I did wrong. I didn't even notice that. So, and that cooked me. Like this trade would have smacked. You know what I mean? And that's okay because you live, you learn. And like that's just I was right about price action. I was right about the sweep, you know. Like I was right today. I just that was just a literal mental error, you know. And I lost more than I wanted because my limit was down here and I was below when I thought I was going to enter here, you know. And so I put in another contract size or whatever and I lost way more than I wanted on this trade. Which is unfortunate. Um, you know, but then I'll get into the other trade that I took. Um, but yeah, okay. Oh yeah, and so this probably wasn't the smartest decision on my part, but I mean, I was really confident in this setup, bro. So I got stopped out, wicked up here. This is where my stop was, like right here, give or take. Um, but anyway, and so yeah, that's why it says I got stopped there. But um, what's it called? Uh, what am I trying to say? What am I trying to say? Uh, Low-key forgot. Alright, but it's chill. Um, but anyways, and so that's kind of what happened. Just like literally mental error there, honestly. But and then let's kind of go to NQ. So, oh yeah, no, I was gonna get into the other trade that I took. That probably wasn't the smartest, but I mean it helped my loss today. But anyway, and so I was really confident in this. So then after we kind of broke past these right here, I entered again, targeting London low. Because I was like, we're no way we're gonna edge right here and freaking not hit London low. You know what I mean? Like, there's no way. You know what I'm saying? Like, so I was really confident in that. And so then I literally was entered like here and I closed right here when we hit low. And that was like $50 or something, like it was pretty stupid. I shouldn't have even risked anything on that, you know what I mean? But it was fine. Like, I was really confident in that. There was just no point to enter that to even risk money. But anyway, and so then what I was noticing on NAS was when we break out of the zone, we're gonna want to freaking flood, bro. So that's kind of what we ended up doing. I was really tempted to enter right here, because we already got the break over here, but went past, um, once we went past this internal low, bro, like I was thinking about just entering, targeting London low on NAS because we didn't hit it yet. But I just figured the way we're moving, once we flood out of this is where we're gonna want to go. Like we gotta hit it. That's how market moves. And look at us now. Now we're reversing up. You know what I mean? Like I think we had to fill orders here to move up. In my opinion, especially in the way I trade as well. So yeah, and so then this was like, okay, I'm gonna have to find a 1 minute entry here because it's gonna run without me. You know what I mean? Like this, like, and I was confident in this because this is where we had to go. You know what I mean? Just off of experience. And so I was able to get, the 1 minute we broke on the 1 minute, and then we actually got a retrace up. We formed a green candle here, and so I was able to draw equilibrium, and we retrace up, and look, we smacked equilibrium here on the 1 minute. Boom. And so then, right when we closed, or like right when this ended and this opened, that's when I entered. Because I was like, I wanted to be able to wait until down here for the actual break. But look, that's where I closed the trade. So, like, I literally just waited for it to tap here and saw some sort of, what's it called? And that's when I entered because I wanted to get a better entry on the move up, you know what I mean, for it to go down so my entry isn't down here. You know what I mean? Because I was like, this is close to the end of the move. I don't want it to just reverse without me, you know what I mean? But I was also like, we have to hit this, you know what I mean? And so then that's when I entered and I was able to make about um or well, I'm not gonna say how much, but what's it called? I made like half of my loss back on the first trade. Like I lost way more than I wanted, and I made about a good half back, honestly. Yeah. I made half back. And so that's where I'm content. That's what I'm content losing on like a losing day, you know what I mean? So I'm really happy with this. Um and yeah, and that's what happened, and now look at us. We're reversing right now, you know. Um because we hit that low, you know. And that's the way I trade, and yeah, so that was kind of just like a continuation trade. Um, Probably not the most ideal, but not bad. You know, like it was valid for me. You know what I mean? Ideally would have been able to enter here, like I said, but I wasn't. At that point that'd make me basically just entering off of breaker structure and hopes and dreams. You know what I mean? I need some sort of confluence, some sort of continuation confluence. You know what I mean? Um, So yeah, and unfortunately we got it down here. I wish we would have up here, but it's chill, You can't control what the market gives you, you just gotta play with it. Play with what the market gives you. But anyway, I'm just kind of yapping now. But definitely price was a little bit weird today, I'm not gonna lie, just because all these super big wicks, bro. Like these really big wicks. Um, but first trade would have smacked for sure if I just would have noticed a stop loss issue, but it is all good, you live, you learn, and now we just gotta journal this, and yeah, boys. But we'll be back at it tomorrow. Hopefully my PC doesn't do that again. I'm probably gonna have to take it to the shop soon if it's gonna start doing that, because I can't be having that like mid trade if that happens. So, um, yeah. Anyway, love and appreciate y'all, boys, and we'll see y'all.